I've got an hour to work. I'm going to have a cup of tea and thought I'd bring you on Tea Time Thursday and just kind of fill you in. Hi, welcome back. It's Thursday. Normally we do this on a Tuesday. Tuesday's normally my work day. But anyway, that has not happened because we're on holiday. We are still in Gold Coast up until the end of the week. And then we head to Tweed Heads in New South Wales. I have not been there before. Anyway, Daniel has taken the kids to the beach for a little swim. It is like 8 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, I've got an hour to work and I was going to have a cup of tea and thought I'd bring you on normally on Tea Time Tuesday, but it can be Tea Time Thursday and just kind of fill you in the tea, the goss on what is happening for us at the moment. Excuse our setup. It's quite messy. We're in a little apartment. There's 5 of us, so there's a bit of mess. Tea making facilities are very basic, and normally I would be having my almighty cans, but don't have any in Australia. So we're back to the English breakfast tea. Gonna make a cuppa and sit down, and I'll fill you in with the haps. Also, current fave, Grenade, high protein, low sugar Oreo protein bar. 20 grams of protein. I think it's like 250 calories. Probably full of crap, like just total chemicals and stuff, but she tastes good. She tastes good. Okay. We got a little bit of time because they've already been out for about an hour. So we've been in Australia for about a week. It's been a very different experience this time. A very, very different experience. Like we came and did a 6-week road trip last year, kind of to ease the kids into a bit more of a world schooling lifestyle. And we learned a lot on that holiday. It was really, really good, but we learned a lot. Like our kids are not into it. I don't know if it's personality or their age or stage or whatever, but they're not into doing long travels away from home. Like if it were up to me, I could travel for the rest of my life nonstop and never go home. I've just always been that way. But for them, they miss home. They miss the consistency. And I mean, we've got a lot of neurodiversity within the house. So I don't know if that kind of plays into it or if it's just their age or whatever. But anyway, this year we've switched and we're focusing on just like a layover kind of lifestyle, doing these little trips here and there, not necessarily far. Like we've come to Oz for this one, but that will be our only overseas holiday this year. The rest we'll just do around New Zealand, which will be fun. So this holiday is different. And also because our money situation, like I booked this trip last year. And in that time, we were finishing off our house that we'd built and our savings have just gone, basically. Like it's been allocated, it's been used in the way that we want. But when we came last year, we had this kind of buffer that we could just dip into, whereas this time we were on quite a strict budget. And I didn't anticipate the stress, I suppose, that would come with it. So that's been different. That's been really different. A different experience, but it's still a great trip. We've got 1 week left after this, and my stepsons are flying over to meet us in Gold Coast, like Gold Coast Airport, and we're going to head down Tweed Heads for a week. So that's really exciting. I'm just going to move so I'm closer to my tea. I've got a little polar bear here from SeaWorld. But yeah, we've never had a whole family holiday with all 5 kids. But the other big thing that's happened, which I guess mostly is the tea for tea time today, is that the day before we flew out, I booked myself in for a, professional assessment, like a diagnostic assessment for ADHD and an informal assessment for autism. And yeah, I did not anticipate how I would feel booking this or afterwards. The way my brain responded was very different to what I anticipated. I was actually quite nervous to tell anybody. I didn't tell my husband straight away. I told my best friend first. She was very supportive. Like everybody's going to be supportive, whatever. Like it's my life. And if they're not, I don't really care. But I don't know. There's some weird thing that I haven't wanted to tell people. I did tell my husband and he was very much like, what's the point? It's like, we already know it's there. And I get that and I appreciate that. But I think what I've realized is we have decided not to medicate our kid. One has a formal diagnosis and is eligible for medication. But we have chosen that we're not going to until they're old enough to make that decision themselves. And that's cool. Like, it's just not really needed. We unschool. We live in a way that's very flexible and like we can work in authentically with their needs and like sensory needs, energy needs, all that sort of stuff. But being like a homeschool mom, stay-at-home mom, work from home mom, running a business, doing all that stuff, I find it a lot. Like I struggle a lot. I find it overwhelming. I am quite a chill person and from the outside it looks super patient, but like internally It's a lot. And like I said to my husband, I think by going and getting assessed, at least I can find out what support is available for me, right? Because I want to be the best mum that I can be and best human I can be. And I find it very hard because it's like you're trying to work on my health, trying to run a business, trying to be the best parent, trying to homeschool. It's a lot of plates to be balancing. And I know motherhood is like that anyway. But I think with that added layer of neurodiversity, if I have that validation and know what support's in place, I guess I can be easier on myself maybe, or things might feel a bit easier. So that's the big thing for me at the moment. I emailed expecting a bigger wait list and there wasn't one. So anyway, we're booked in for a couple of weeks' time. And yeah, she was like, just send through anything you think is relevant. And that sent me into a tailspin. I'm like, man, that is way too broad. Way too broad. Like, do you want me to trauma dump my entire life? But once I paid the deposit, then I realized I was getting ahead of myself and got sent like 10 forms. Those were very limiting forms. I struggled with those because they would ask questions like, do you talk too much in inappropriate situations, like when watching TV or a movie? And I'm like, I can't answer that. I can't answer that conclusively because do I talk during a movie? No, I don't. Social etiquette, like that's a very much known thing. Do I talk during TV? Absolutely. Can't shut up. You know, so like, how do you answer this question? Like maybe that is showing I've got two very conflicting like neural pathways happening at the moment. But anyway, just thought I'd update you. I thought if you're interested, I'll bring you along on the journey of being diagnosed and what it entails and how that works here in New Zealand. You are a late diagnosed mother. I would love to connect because what an eye-opener this is. But thank God for my children, because if it weren't for them, I would have no idea, right? I would have no idea about myself. And they have been such a big teacher to me in that. And I have been able to live my life so much more authentically with my needs because of them. So I'm very grateful. But man, imagine knowing this stuff as a kid would be very, very validating, I think. Other than that, I don't think there's any tea. So we'll try and do tea time Tuesday next week. Maybe it'll be Thursday. I don't really know. But it will be from Tweed Heads and we will be in a holiday park, which I'm very excited about because there'll be lots of stuff for the kids to do. And I will see you then.